Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and in this bass lesson you'll be learning when to use which kind of minor scales on bass. There are so many, but in this lesson we'll be cutting through the confusion and you'll come away knowing exactly what's going to make you sound the best in any situation. Today we have a question from an email subscriber named Greg who writes, "Hello Luke, I'm new to bass. I've been playing for just over a year, so there are many things for me to learn. At the moment, modes are my struggle. My question is this: when do I use the Dorian mode as a minor scale, and or when do you use the Aeolian mode as a minor scale? Or do I have it all wrong? Thanks, Greg." Oh my goodness, I don't know about you, but this is definitely something I can relate to. When you start going down the rabbit hole of scales and modes, it can get super confusing super quickly, especially when it comes to minor scales. You've got the Dorian, the Aeolian, the Phrygian, the Locrian, the harmonic minor, the melodic minor, and that's before we start getting into the really exotic scales. The list never seems to end. How the hell are you supposed to know when to use which one? Well, let's clear it up right now. The two big minor scales that get used the lion's share of the time, the majority of the time, are the Dorian mode and the Aeolian mode. And the Aeolian, by the way, is just sometimes called the natural minor scale. And there are some general guidelines about when to use which one, whether you use the Dorian or the Aeolian. In general, not all the time, but in general, if someone says a song is in the key of whatever minor, the Aeolian scale is what you usually use. For example, if someone says we're in the key of B flat minor, they're talking about using the notes from the B flat Aeolian scale. If they say G minor, you use the G Aeolian scale. C sharp minor, C sharp Aeolian. I'm sure you get the picture. This will work for a lot of regular old sad sounding songs. For example, the Adele song Rolling in the Deep, it's in the key of C minor, so C Aeolian will work great over it. Here's our C Aeolian here. Now, if you play that scale over the song, you'll hear everything works. So, forgive my singing, but you'll notice that everything sounds good here, nothing is out of place. You can actually hear all of the notes of C Aeolian during the song. It's a great Aeolian example. You can also check out the verses to the Pink Floyd song Comfortably Numb. They are in B minor, so B Aeolian mode is going to sound good right there. Try playing these modes over these songs and you'll hear that they work really well. I've put links for them underneath this video, so be sure to go and check them out and play some Aeolian over them. So that's the Aeolian mode, but what about the Dorian mode? What are the guidelines for that? Well, the Dorian mode, in general, gets used over the 2 chord in a major key. For example, in the key of C major, the 2 chord, the 2nd chord of that key, is a D minor chord. So you'd use a D Dorian mode over that chord in that context. This is something I talk a ton about in the Ultimate Guide to the Modes for Bass, which you can get for free by clicking the link in the description of this video. If you're a bit lost in this video right now, that guide will really clear things up right for you, so go ahead and download it when you get the chance. For some examples of Dorian getting used over a 2 chord, check out Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. It's in the key of G, and the chord progression is A minor, C, G. A minor, C, G. So A minor, C major, and then G major. That means it's a 2, 4, 1 progression in the key of G. Sounds just like that. That means we can play our A Dorian scale over that A minor chord, the 1st chord in the progression, and the 2 chord in the key of G. Have a listen. Yeah? Hear how that Dorian mode just sounds right? There's no notes that sound funny or out of place. That's the Dorian mode in action when it's used properly like this. I'll do it again slower just so you can really hear how it sounds. A Dorian, and then we go to a new chord there. But that's our A Dorian over that A minor, that 2 chord in the key of G. Another really quick example of the Dorian mode being used over a 2 chord you can check out is Maroon 5's Sunday Morning. It's in the key of C and the chord progression is D minor 7, G7, C major 7. That's a 2-5-1 in the key of C major. That means the D minor chord is the 2 chord in this key, so you can play D Dorian over that chord and it's going to sound absolutely great. Now, these general guidelines are a great place to get you started. Aeolian mode as your regular minor scale and Dorian over the 2 chord in a major key. Simple enough, right? However, sometimes these guidelines just don't work. Sometimes someone will say, let's play some song in A minor, but they really mean to use the A Dorian mode, not the Aeolian. For example, if you listen to Carlos Santana's Oye Como Va, it's in the key of A minor, but it uses the Dorian mode, not the Aeolian mode. You can tell this because of the sounds that get used around that A minor. If you listen to the chords, you'll hear that it's mostly A minor 7 and D7. Yeah, we've got now that D7 there, that uses an F sharp, not an F natural. That one there. If we were using A Aeolian, then we'd expect to hear an F there because that's what's in A Aeolian. Check it out, here it is. F there. But instead in this song, we get F sharp. And that makes it a Dorian mode. In fact, that one note is the only difference between Dorian and Aeolian. Flat 6 for the Aeolian, flat 6 there, and a natural 6 for Dorian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? You can call this Santana song modal. That is, it doesn't use standard functional regular harmony like all the other examples we've talked about so far. It uses modal harmony, where the home chord isn't in a regular major or minor place. In these cases, where the song doesn't easily fit into regular harmony, the chances are that you'll use Dorian instead of Aeolian. For some more examples of songs that use Dorian as the home bass, check out the Miles Davis song So What. It uses D Dorian in the A sections and then E flat Dorian in the bridge. For something a bit more modern, check out the Daft Punk song Get Lucky. You could say that the song's home bass is centered around B Dorian. Check it out. Finally, you can check out the melody to the folk song Scarborough Fair. All the melody notes are drawn from the Dorian mode. Now, if all this talk about modes and scales and everything like that, if it's over your head and confusing right now, once again, I feel your pain. If you don't understand how this stuff works, it sounds like people are speaking a completely foreign language. It's endlessly frustrating. That's exactly why I created the ultimate guide to the modes for bass. I want to take away all the confusion, all the frustration, and all the jargon out of learning the modes for you so you can know exactly what to play, when to play it, and why it sounds good. The modes really are the key to sounding good all the time, and you'll learn exactly how to do it with the guide. To get started with it, just click the link in the description and I'll send it straight to your email inbox, totally free. In the end though, the absolute best thing I can tell you is that it's up to you and your ears. Get used to using them. They're a great asset to you. And if the Dorian mode sounds like it's a better fit than the Aeolian mode to you in some song, then it probably is. Trust your ears and they will almost always take care of you. Thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe and get all the new videos from Become a Bassist, and of course be sure to sign up for the ultimate guide to the modes if you haven't done it yet. I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com. Good luck and happy playing.